So before we get started, just a few things to go with the both of you. Nothing difficult, things you already do in your relationship. Simple reminder. From this moment on, it's no longer you or I, it's we. This is the hardest I will ask of the both of you. For to make true we choices or we decisions means one lovingly giving to the other. This is why it's difficult. Because if only one person gives, it becomes one-sided. So it's finding the balance where both people give to each other equally and lovingly. With that being said, I do not believe in 50-50. Okay? The reason I do not believe in 50-50 is I always wonder, where's the other 50? Do not cheat yourselves of giving nor receiving anything less than 100% of one another. And for this reason, I do not believe in 50-50. The next two things are very simple things. So simple that every once in a while they get overlooked. Not forgotten, just overlooked. And the first one is try not to go to sleep angry. Okay, I really stress this because in my path of life, I've come across many that have said, I didn't get a chance to say sorry. So I really stress try not to go to sleep angry. The other is always say you love each other. Always say you love each other. For again, in my path of life, I've come across many that have said, I didn't get a chance to say I love you. These are the three things that I really ask of the both of you. We choices, we decisions, try not to go to sleep angry, always say you love each other. Can we live with that?
Of course.
Okay. Now, from what I just said, I'm going to make an exception to the rule. I have 6 children. I know what it's like for my wife to be pregnant.
Yep.
And I know what it's like, and the later part of the pregnancy, of the things she's limited to do. So it may feel like one person is doing a lot, but believe me, if you carry around an extra 20 pounds all day long, what we do outside is really easy.
Yeah, exactly.
And remind yourself of that. Remind yourself of that when it comes about 7 months and 8 months, and you find yourself running all over the place and doing all these things. Remind yourself of that, okay? Just because they do carry a lot of weight. They do carry a lot of burden. So we give them all we can. That's your support and that's your love. So we give them all we can. So that would be the only exception to the rule when you're pregnant. Okay. When you're not pregnant, it's 50-50, 100%. There you go. Can we live with that?
Absolutely.
When God, let me see. Here we go. The old Hawaiians believe that when first man was created, he was created from the sand, mixed with the earth, given shape, then given life. As he was given life, he was also given a responsibility to care for all things created before him. In return, all things created before first man would care for him. As first man went through his life caring for his elders, first man found a very, very special friend. Sometimes this friend stood before him. Sometimes this friend stood behind of him. Sometimes this friend stood at his side, but never so far away that first man would lose sight of his very special friend. First man found his shadow. The great creators, realizing that first man was lonely, put first man to sleep, took his shadow and created first woman. Today, Kim, you become Brett's very, very best friend. Sometimes standing before, sometimes standing behind, sometimes at his side, but never so far away that he'll lose sight of you. Brett, will you take this moment to share your heart with the one you love?
Absolutely. I'm so glad that we finally get to share this day together with the people that are closest to us. Before we met, my friends were the best thing in my life. They were the things that got me through difficult times, and And after many years, many less successful relationships, as I'm sure they can attest to, I was quite confident in the idea that I might be myself for the rest of my life. And I was fine with that idea. And then one day, this beautiful woman in a red coat came into the restaurant, and in an instant, it was like light and darkness, a beginning of a whole new universe. And I knew everything was going to be different. Everything was going to be changed, and in more wonderful ways than I could have ever imagined. And from the moment meeting you to now, you've changed my life in every way it could be conceived. It's so much better than I ever would have imagined. And in just this little amount of time, like we've already had what feels like a lifetime of memories and happy laughs and jokes and things that make us smile every time that we mention them. And I know that we'll have that for the rest of our lives. I can't wait to one day be the old white-haired man holding you in my arms just like I do today. And I want, in the name of that future, I just want to promise you some things that are more sacred to me than anything that I've ever had in my life before. I promise that I will always be there for you. I will always support you and our daughter, and I will listen when you need ears to hear. My shoulder will always be there when you're tired and you need a place to rest. I will always love you. You will always hear that. Get used to those words, because it's my hope that we will do that for decades to come. I promise that I will make mistakes. I will do things wrong. We'll get upset with each other, but I promise you that I will never for a second forget that you are the most important thing in my entire life. And nothing, no minor trivial argument can come close to that. And I promise that I'm going to be the best father I can possibly be for our daughter. I will be the example that you look for me to be for her. I will teach her all the wonderful things about this life that we've learned together, and hand in hand, we will bring her up to be as beautiful and a wonderful woman as you are. I love you with all my heart, baby, and I always will.
Kim, will you take this moment to share your heart with the one you love?
May I please have my phone? Can I grab, yeah, my phone real quick. I wrote my vows on my phone. Love you, Gia. Talk to you in a sec.
Love you guys.
Hi, Ty. All right. Tear it up a bit. Brett, I'm so excited and grateful to be sharing my thoughts, hopes, and heart today with you among our cherished friends and found family. Missing you guys who couldn't make it here today in person. Chelsea, Blake, Rick, and everybody else, but glad to see you on Zoom. It's been a journey getting to this point, as my friends can attest to, but I wouldn't change any moment of it, because every step of the way led me to you. I remember swiping on Bumble with my sister the evening we saw you, tousled hair, close-up of your face and upper shoulders with your quintessential aviator glasses. We made a quick pros and cons list, and my sister was the one to make the fateful final swiping decision that you seem like a nice guy, swipe right, and I'm glad she did. Life has been a whirlwind these past 2 years, from getting a house, getting a dog, getting married, and now expecting our beautiful baby girl. Words can't describe how happy I am having you as a partner in life, and how much I look forward to our future family and all of our future adventures. Having found each other later in life, I feel like we have a more profound appreciation for each other's strengths and more kindness and patience for each other's weaknesses. You make sure I take my nasty prenatal vitamins and get my back scratches, and I make sure you have lunch for work and alert you when the puppy needs to go pee. But all jokes aside, I appreciate how you were there for me when my father passed away, how you listen and support me when I've had a bad day, how you try to adopt some of my passions as your own, like trying out new restaurants and swing dancing, even if you don't really understand it. How you love and adore our little dog Henry as our little adopted son puppy. How much effort you put into encouraging and loving James, even if all he ever wants to do is squish you. How much you cherish and adore Emery and Roman. How you make me laugh with your silly humor and funny accents. How you love, encourage, and support me to be the best version of myself. And how I know you're going to be the absolute best father to our beautiful little baby girl. You couldn't have waited another year or two though, followed the 5-year plan so I could have some poke and raw seafood in Hawaii. I know you're gonna say that this was the way it was meant to happen to get our perfect little girl, best human being in the world, universe. And I know when she finally comes, I'll without a doubt feel the same. I'm really so glad my father was able to meet you and give his approval. You know how much he means to me. My whole family loves you, my sister, James, mom, everyone, and welcome you into our family. And I'm appreciative of how much your family has adopted me as their own as well. I love you so much, and I can't wait for our continued life together and all of our future adventures. And I promise I'll be by your side for the rest of our lives. As you always say, the juice was worth the squeeze.
Oh.
Thank you.
These rings being circles have no beginning and no end. They represent the eternal nature of true love. Brett, Kim, as you wear your rings, let them remind you from this moment on, you'll always be surrounded by each other's love and caring.
We take this ring, place it on Kim's finger, please.
Yes.
That's as far as it's going.
Okay.
Hold hands with each other. Brett, will you repeat after me as you look into the eyes of the one you love?
Absolutely.
This ring,
With this ring,
I, Brett, thee wed.
I, Brett, thee wed.
Let this ring be a symbol
Let this ring be a symbol
of my love
of my love
and my life.
and my life.
Kim, will you repeat after me as you look into the eyes of the one you love? With this ring,
With this ring,
I, Kim, thee wed.
I, Kim, thee wed.
Let this ring be a symbol
Let this ring be a symbol
of my love
of my love
and my life.
and my life.
Brett, Kim, may your journey in life be long, straight, and prosperous. Should you come to a speed bump in this road, I want you to hold each other tightly and enjoy the ride. Should you come to a curve in this road, I want you to hold each other tightly, support each other through thick and thin, and enjoy the ride. And I want you to make a promise to one another that on this very day in all years to come, you will hold each other tightly. Turn around, look back upon your road and say, I'm enjoying my ride. From this day forward, you will no longer feel the cold, for you'll be warmth to one another. You'll no longer feel the rain, for you'll be shelter to one another. And you'll no longer be lonely, for you'll be constant companion to one another. By the authority vested in me by the state of Hawaii, I now pronounce you, Brett, you, Kim, husband and wife. You may now seal your vows with a kiss. Brett, congratulations. You're so welcome. Good job. Congratulations, good job. This is yours, Brett. If you will escort your bride, and Brett, that's Murdoch. So if you'll face that way, sounds like this. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Brett and Kim Murdoch. You do the rest.
Thank you.